Aloha, Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai in Hawaii. I'm Lama Tashi. We present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 Hawaiian time, and it's recorded and put on our website, kauaidharma.org. Last Thursday night, we had a new software that was pushed on us by Zoom, and we didn't know about it, so this is going to be a rerun of last Thursday night's class. When we present the Tibetan shamanistic Lama tradition's method of meditation and practice, it's strictly for healing. And the understanding is very important of that point, because it doesn't really fall into the category of religion. It actually isn't about going to a heavenly realm as religions present themselves, even some forms of Buddhism. And you can find that kind of Buddhism in like Sri Lanka, Ceylon, Thailand. They call Hinayana or Theravadan tradition. Then some of the traditions are Mahayana. Mahayana is when you understand that all of the practice that you do in this for healing is for not only you, but everybody else. So you're progressing together, not as an individual. Then the next level of shamanistic Lamaism is called Tantra or Vajrayana. In that, your whole point of practice for healing is to go directly to your nature of mind and use that continually throughout whatever lifestyle or activities you find yourself, monk, nun, household, and so forth. Now, sentient beings permeate the universe. And in doing so, they fall into three categories of sentient beings. Animals and humans is one category. That's called the worldly category, or earthbound. Then spirits, that's another category. They have four types. They permeate the universe, from heaven to hell and in between. And when I say heaven, I'm talking about all the celestial saints and gods and goddesses that attain that level of existence. Then we have the war and war god goddesses, or what are called demigods, and they have many different categories. Then we have the deprived spirits. In Tibet, they call them pretas or hungry ghosts. Again, there are many categories. And then the demonic realms is of spirit, which are totally based on the idea of an abusive nature. Now, the celestial realms and the war and war gods realms, that's called the higher realms. The human and animals called the middle realm. And the deprived spirits and the demonic spirits, that's called lower realm. But what it comes down to is a favorable rebirth where you can be of benefit to others using your human ability of loving kindness and compassion or interest in the well-being of others, and at the same time take good care of your environment. Now, to understand how each of these six categories identifies, the best example is from my teacher, Kala Rinpoche. And I'm reading this example from the end of the book of his life. Okay, so this is his last teaching. And he was asked, how do sentient beings think of their existence? And he says, all of the six realms of sentient beings, animals, humans, and spirits, identify their existence with themselves and where they are. And so he said, the best example that I can give you, easiest, is a spider. So I'm going to read this. Consider this a spider as an example of every sentient being's identification of who they are and where they are. He says, the spider. She has made her home or web in the corner of a room. She knows a lot about her local surroundings. She knows how to live as a spider, how to spin a web, to catch food, lay her eggs, and she has good reasons to believe that she understands the world around her very well. So that's all of it. Imagine trying to explain that spider to the rest of the room. Explain the rest of the room to the spider. Its dimensions, its contents, the doors, the windows, all the things in the room, the tables, chairs, lamps, carpets, and so forth. Then imagine trying to explain to the spider the rest of the building, the other rooms and their contents, the walls, the roof, the electricity, plumbing, heating systems, telephones, and televisions. Then imagine trying to explain to the spider the neighborhood outside of the building, the other buildings, lawns, trees, gardens, and so forth. Then try to explain that further out there are roads, cars, trucks, trains, airplanes, and airports. Then imagine trying to explain to her the rest of the world, the plants, the animals, the farms, the fields, the forests, rivers, lakes, deserts, mountains, oceans, clouds, and sky. And please don't forget about the sun, the moon, and the stars. So the next time you hear someone talk about other realms that are beyond your own personal experience, think about the spider. Don't be so quick to sure that what they are talking is nonsense. Remove your judgment about all others, because all of us are very much like the spider. I had to read that. I have a sense of humor. Then the very, very last page, he says, wherever and whenever I find myself, and anyone who sees, hears to me, or recalls me in any way, or made offerings or praises to me, or even reviled me, may all sentient beings with such interdependence and connection to me quickly manifest perfect enlightenment and Buddhahood. May they all come to realize their true nature and how to use it. So that sums up his book. Oh, and here's a picture of Kala Rinpoche as I knew him, from the age 70 to 85. And this is his drawing of a home, which he says sums it all up medicinally. And of course, is way beyond the comprehension of us spiders. Now we'll take refuge. In order to practice Vajrayana Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism, or even enter in the Hinayana level of this path to liberation, one has to take refuge with the outer manifestations of what is called the Dharma. Dharma is the sound of wisdom, the mother of perfect intelligence. or clarity. Dharma, 2 words. And the Lama, Honorable Mother, is the teachers of how to connect, use, grow, develop, and evolve with these medicinal practices. And the 3 levels that we move through is the Hinayana, which we take the practices and we identify it and use them just as we are and our situation, to remove negative tendencies and adopt more positive tendencies. Then as we move through the Hinayana, we start to connect with the Mahayana, that the methodology moves into the idea that everything is for the benefit of everybody else in the entire universe, regardless of their position or status. And that's all sentient beings. And of course, since there's no such thing as separation, you're included. That's called Mahayana. Then the Mahayana moves both Hinayana and Mahayana practices into what is called the Sutra, using the idea that everything is not only interconnected, but it's all kind of fluidy, interconnected or illusory. Now the word illusory means not as we see it, not as we sense it, not as we think about it, like the spider. That there's a lot more going on than what we're connecting to. And that's called the Tantric Approach, or the direct approach, Vajrayana. Vajrayana includes actually all 3, Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana, all interconnected. In the Vajrayana, Mahayana, and even the Hinayana path, there's the nature of everything in this illusory position is voidness. Voidness means the mind and everything that exists that you are sensing or thinking about with your mind is in a state of infinite potential. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It means it exists in a way that we can use it, and that infinite potential for removing obstacles and benefiting others. And that's pretty much it. The universe itself is called what's the word I told you? Conditioned. And the conditioning is based on how you survive it, how you connect to it. And so everybody has that situation, everybody.
Endurance.
And they must develop a state of endurance to put up with the pain and suffering that is prevalent. And the endurance applies to every single sentient being. So when you come into this world, the Tibetan word for birth as a sentient being is, the world is named endurance. And that makes it real. But what it does is this interconnectedness idea that everything is interconnected to everything else, nothing is self-existent, also puts everything in the right frame that we all have to endure pain and suffering. And that means aging, sickness, and death in the human condition, and physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual pain and suffering. And then to go along with that, everything is always changing on each of those levels. And you start to more and more get a grasp of the immensity of what I'm talking about through meditation practice. and through guidance from the Lama who understands all that. And when you start to put two and two together, then you're no longer like the spider. And that's where you become liberated. Now, liberated into the natural state is actually the world around you. The world around you is a liberated world. It doesn't have judgment. It doesn't have emotional preconceptions about anything, including us. It just supports. And when you connect to the other nature of your consciousness, then you move out of this condition of pain and suffering into one free of that, because you're free of the emotional content of identifying who you are and everything you think and everything you sense and everything that goes on emotionally. And that's it. And you can relax. You can be like the universe. In fact, you and the universe start to become like this picture of two beings in sensual union. Now, this is Chenrezig and red tar. Everything in Tibetan Buddhism on the level of teaching the illusory nature of mind and how to rearrange it is based on these two deities. And there are role models, but they are the Lama, and the Lama's mind is inseparable. And no matter how they appear in the panorama of we call skillful means, as spiritual entities to help us change rapidly from the Hinayanam and even the Mahayana into the Vajrayana, and then know who we are at that point, is these two. What they symbolize is the female aspect is actually terroristic, powerful, like the mother, powerful with her children. And she identifies in Tibetan Buddhism as everything you see with your eyes and everything you think or imagine. Now that's a lot. So that's the mother principle, and that's the universe. Then he is how to integrate that. That's why they're in union. And have fun doing it. So he is the methodology of the loving kindness compassion aspect, interconnecting with this worldly concept of the mother. And that's what we're taking refuge in. Because my experience is I started with these two, Chenrezig and Tara, in the Vajrasattva practice, along with doing prostration, which are called the foundation practices of Tantra. And that was in 1977, and Kala Rinpoche was the one that introduced that. From that day to this, there have been many additions. But this is always the same. So no matter what kind of practice you do, like the 5 elements practice, well, that's Tara. That's the elemental Dakini. And if she's red, well, that's Tara. We color code these. But when you're taking practice, refuge in the Lama and the Lama's teachings, then you're also developing more and more loving kindness and concern for the well-being of all other. So we're going to start with that motivation. I'm going to chant it in Tibetan, then we'll say this, the refuge prayer, and the Bodhisattva training prayer in English, and then we'll chant the refuge and the Bodhicitta prayer in Sanskrit. First of all, the motivation. In order to attain enlightenment for myself and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now altogether take refuge and when possible, offer prostration. And I might add, and do Bodhisattva Prayer. Then the actual refuge prayer is, we go for refuge to all glorious holy Lama. We go for refuge to all the yidams, which are the deities gathered in all of the mandala of practice. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have liberated their mind and gone beyond. We go for refuge to all this supreme Dharma. We go for refuge to all the noble sanghas, teachers and practitioners. And we go for refuge to all the dakas and dakinis, who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these possess the eye of transcending awareness, which is what we call Buddhahood or liberation or enlightenment. Then the Bodhisattva prayer goes like this. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this supreme assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines, called perfection, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. I'm going to chant the prayer of the motivation, which is to bring all beings to Buddhahood, to understand their true nature and how to use it. Dag dong dro wan nam ke pa dang yam pe sem shem tam che du di ne jung te ji si cheng shu ning po la chi ki bar du. In the refuge prayer. All den lama dampa nam la chap su chio. We chant this all together. All den lama dampa nam la chap su chio. Yedam chokor gi la zo nam la chap su chio. Sanjay chur dam dam nam la chap su chio. Dampe chur nam la chap su chio. Kaupe gendum nam la chap su chio. Dampe chur nam la chap su chio. Pawo kandro chokyung sume sho ye sheki. Shendong dempa nam la chap su chio. Sanjay Shodam Choki Chonam La Cheng Chu Bardu Dagni Chapsu Chi Dagi Chinso Jipe Sonam Pi Chola Penjer Sanjay Jupar Sho. The last three words, Drupar Shot, means we offer this as like a feast. Drup means through practice. When we entertain the attitude that this is for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, that's unique. No religion does that, not even other forms of Buddhism. Because that removes all of the judgment quality of how we think about ourselves and interact with others and our environment. And the 6 refuges are the 3 of the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, which all Buddhists take refuge in that. But in shamanistic Lamaism, we take refuge in the Lama and the Lama's symbols of protectors and peaceful deities and dakinis. Because these remove the obstacles to progress through of our practice, meditation and so forth. understanding that the three roots and the three jewels is what we're taking refuge in, then the Bodhisattva prayer of the 6 disciplines of Bodhisattva practice, which are the bases of Mahayana and Vajrayana conditioning or training, makes sense. And they are what we should have be doing. It's our duty to do, actually, not a right, it's a duty, to develop these 6 perfections, whether you're a Buddhist or not. And the first one is generosity towards yourself, others, and the environment, on the level of worldliness and on the level of mind development. The second one is discipline, which includes morality, ethics, and good manners, and that again is on the worldly level and on the wisdom level. Patience, applied to self, others, and the environment, absolutely necessary. Without patience, you can't practice. Without patience, you can't strengthen your relationships with your own mind and involvement in relationships with others. Diligence, number 4, perseverance means first 3, and you add meditative concentration. So diligence is number 4, meditative concentration. The ability to focus your mind single pointedly on one thing is number 5. Number 6 is with the development of these first 5 and perfecting them to practice and training. The 6th one is connecting to the wisdom nature of your own mind, which is all-knowing, which is beyond emotional obstruction. And we call that enlightenment. But those 2 natures, the drama mind, which requires the first 5, generosity, discipline, patience, diligence, and meditative concentration, those are to smooth out your worldly situation. But the 6th one is to perfect those first 5 and at the same time allow you to move beyond the stage of growth and development into the evolutionary process of the Bodhisattva, and quickly move through the 10 levels of this growth and development to Buddhahood, liberation. From what? Yourself. And the idea of the self, I, me, mine. And then you can relax. Then you can be in the sensual world like this, and at the same time beyond it. That's what we say, the Buddha who has conquered mind and gone beyond it. And in that state, there's no judgment. In the drama world, it's all based on judgment. But in the other nature of your mind, which exists in every sentient being, but only humans can connect to it, is perfect Buddhahood. That's why we take refuge. Tonight we're going to do the practice of the 3 lights meditation, connecting to the 5 elements for healing, mostly for the body and our worldly environment. And when you do the 5 elements practice, then you use it to connect to all the levels of how we exist. Then using the fire element, that brings all the elements of which we are created, from which our mother created us, together for this practice, using the bases of the inhale, exhale, and the middle breath. Then the last part of the class, second part of the class, is going to be used the healing of the Tara practice with Tumo breathing, which is called Kundalini or fire breathing, to enhance again the physical but bring the spiritual development more into the process. And then the final part of the class will do the Medicine Buddha mantra, which brings all of the Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana practice together in the state of perfect application, which fulfills the motivation. Back straight, eyes in front, mouth closed. Hands in a comfortable position, either in the lap or on the knees. Some people like palms up or palms down. Head slightly tilted forward. Mouth closed, tongue resting against the palate to start with. Bring your focus, your attention, your awareness to your breath. Inhale. When you inhale, visualize white light filling your lungs. With the absorption breath, called the middle breath, then you visualize red light energy flooding through your body, either all at once or through every pore, through every cell. Then these two are collected together with the exhale out the nose, which is visualized as blue light going to space, available to all sentient beings who inhabit space, our universe. 3 lights, prana yoga practice. Inhale white light, fill your lungs with this light. Absorption breath is the energy of all of that passing through every cell in your body, red light. These two collected together as the exhale out the nose is blue light available to everyone throughout our spatial universe. With this breathing technique, you've distracted yourself from the worldly activities. And you start to realize you're settling into another state of peace and tranquility. This state is called Nirvana, and it is the basis of all of the, not only the development of mind training, but the evolving into higher and higher states of timeless awareness. Once you notice yourself that you are becoming more and more relaxed in this peaceful state without attaching to it, then you take your focus off your breath. Collect the 3 lights into a tiny particle centered in your heart center. You're creating a heart chakra called a bindu. And you relax in that state, allowing that point of energy, actually radiance, to connect to the infinite light of the fabric of boundless space. The Tibetans use the term the all ground or basic space. Then purposely reinvent that particle in the center of your heart chakra, and with your imagination expand it into a small sphere of clear light. Doing that, you enter into the dimension of our universe, our three-dimensional world. Then expand it, and as it grows, it evolves into the symbol of a four-sided pyramid with a base about the size of your thumbnail in the center of your heart chakra, and label that fire, which is radiation. In this way, you're collecting all five elemental energies into one place, but emphasizing warmth, heat, fire, or as I said, radiation for healing. Then bring that symbol with your imagination out in front and right in front of your eyes, about 2 feet in front. Imagine it there, visualize it there. It is actually collecting an immense amount of energy of what exists in that space, small space in front of your eye. Then expand it in size so you can see your physical body sitting inside. It becomes like a large room, this four-sided pyramid made of red light, with the base, with the floor. What is taking place is you are receiving the life force energy of those elements into your physical body, just as you do with all of your sensual perceptions and your thoughts. Then we're going to share this with our surrounding universe by imagining that four-sided red pyramid labeled fire to expand in size to completely enclose this island of Kauai, or if you're watching this, the town, city, or area where you are practicing. Making it available to all the sentient beings in that locale. Then you expand it in size to enclose Mother Earth, including her atmosphere. Same dispensing of healing energy, but to the whole planet and all the beings that inhabit her. Then expand it in size to completely enclose the solar system, including the sun and all planets, billions of miles in every direction, inside. Then expand the symbol to completely enclose our spiral dish-shaped galaxy. It's a small area, only 100,000 light years in diameter. Then move beyond your conventional mind by blending this symbol with boundless space, the entire universe. We use the word boundless because it's unimaginably huge. And you just relax, again, allowing the mind to blend, increasing its capacity to more and more be a light body. Then with your conceptual mind, again, imagine the pyramid enclosing the galaxy. Reduce it in size, imagine it to just enclosing the solar system. Smaller and smaller, just enclosing Mother Earth. Very small, just enclosing our neighborhood, island, city, town, area where we live. Tinier and tinier, just to enclose our physical body, bringing all the energy of the life force and life support of the universe psychically into this situation of human existence. Then to finish, bring it back to its original small size, right in front of your eyes. Imagine it dropping to heart level into and moving into your heart chakra. Reduce it in size to a tiny particle of light and blend with the infinite light of boundless space and relax. No meditation. The blissful experience of your own boundless mind. And even in this state of voidness or non-existence, it still can think or produce anything. To finish your practice session, bring your awareness to in front of your eyes and allow it to spread into your area of practice. Dedicate the merit to all sentient beings. And take a short break. Plumeria, Hawaii. In Hawaii, they use these for many things, but making leis, necklaces of flowers, is the main application. And each plumeria has 5 petals, and there are many different colors: red, blue, purple, green, white, yellow, and so forth.
Rainbow.
And rainbow, yeah. So they have their own code of signifying loving kindness, or concern. In Tibet, we use, hand me that, the kata. Hand me that. The same application. And we present this as a significance of loving kindness and compassion, but also out of honor or respect, which is the Hawaiian lei also. And when it is offered to your friends or your relatives. Specifically in Tibet, it's offered to the teacher, who is so generous in giving you all the necessary to become a realized human being, become mature. And so we drape these over the statues. And in this case, over this tanka of Chenrezig and Tar, to show respect. Now, it's also interesting to know that where did this come from, this big, beautiful tanka? Actually, from a children's museum about 30 years ago. And it was printed on a wax machine that was actually being designed for military use, for map printing. But somehow we got it in the Children's Museum for to experiment with, and so we started printing tankas. This one was printed from a picture about this size. And it's still holding its color, its tone. Lotus, sun, and moon disc. That's a symbol of taking birth in the human realms to benefit sentient beings. Surrounded by a rainbow of light is the energy of the universe producing whatever is necessary for this to help others. In the right hand, Chenrezig has the mala for counting mantras. Left hand, the lotus, again symbolizing compassion of Bodhisattva. She is holding a hook knife and a skull cup, which symbolizes cutting off from ego fixation and at the same time developing power of what you do then, what you do with that. The symbol of the outer circle is the 5 elements, the 5-colored rainbow. And again, here's the kata draped behind. And down below is an offering of the mind as an empty mirror. Because when your mind is empty, it can envision everything, anything. It's in a state of infinite potential. We call that Maha Mudra. That's total maturity, or what this symbol of the Buddha over my left shoulder, symbol, mature human. This particular Buddha is Aksobhaya Buddha, which simply means everything interconnected. Now we're going to use the symbol of the fire element in Tara to do what is called fire breathing. And the most powerful figure is this red Tara, done by one of my students, is this painting. Where did this come from?
That's a picture off the internet that was altered.
Oh, to do the Tumo.
It was just things were exaggerated on it.
Okay, Abby says this came off the internet and exaggerated. But under the feet of this standing Dakini of the fire, which is the wrathful Tara, is a male and female figure, which symbolizes the control over the human condition. The right hand holds the hook knife, which he has here pointed down to cut off what we call dualistic fixation, selfishness, I, me, mine. Identifying anything with yourself is a big mistake. All of that is religion. That's we call Hinayana. But she's in a dome of fire, like standing in the sun, drinking from a skull cup of bliss, which is the nature of your natural mind, which is in total harmony with the universe, which is what you want to be. That comes through what you eat, wear, do, think, everything, karma. And she has a staff across her shoulder connecting the demonic world with the human world with the heavenly world, control, with the head of each one of those types of being skewered on the staff, and it has 3 prongs at the end, which mean total power over all 3 realms of conditioned existence, which is what we are finding ourselves in. So this is going to be used tonight, the visualization. But before we get to this particular one, we want to be peaceful. So the Lama is the deity. No matter what deity we practice, it's not separate from the Lama and the Lama's mind of training. And you must remember that, because in that way you can remember that you can't be the deity. You are not the deity. You're using this as a subjugation of your drama mind. To understand the illusory nature and how to use it more and more skillfully to the point where you become liberated from your own judgmental process. So we're going to start tonight with the Lama in front visualized. Any Lama, Dalai Lama. I showed you Kala Rinpoche. Here I sit, Lama Tashi. Whoever, Karmapa, we have any. And then from the Lama's forehead, white light comes into your forehead. This is the initiation process. Start the transfer of the Lama's energy and mind training process method to you. And it doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter who you are. If you are open to this, you're receiving the initiation, whether it be in person or through this program or computerized Zoom. So you imagine the white light of the Lama's, from the Lama's forehead coming into your forehead to generate the ability to imagine you as whatever deity is necessary for mind training. In this case, it's going to be start with green Tara, which again is the basis of the Kagyu tradition of Tibetan Lamaism. And she's all inclusive. All the Taras are green Tara, whether they be the wrathful one I showed you or any of the peaceful ones in any color code. Then red light from the Lama's throat to your throat is this initiation of using the mantra sound of vibration of what kind of an energy field she is causing to exist, causing to take place in you and around you. That's called the mantra. Then the wisdom empowerment is visualize blue light from the Lama's heart chakra in front to your heart. And that's for the understanding more and more of your true nature and how to use it. Then when you can see all three lights shining simultaneously in your mind, visualize the Lama move into you like water into water. And then the three lights appear in three places in your body with the sound Om in a white sphere of light in your Ah in the red sphere in your throat, and blue and Hum in your heart center in the blue sphere. Then you bring all three spheres down the central channel, connecting all together in the heart center. When you have the three, this one is the sound Om, this one is the Ah, and then this one is the Hum. When they come together, the Om, Ah, and Hum, which look like this in Sanskrit, become the seed syllable Tam. Now Tam is like a letter 5, and with a dot over it. And it is all of the Taras, which I'm showing you a picture here, as they were produced in Tibet with the start of Padmasambhava and all of the teachers of all the lineages from Buddha Shakyamuni down to the present day as this sound. And then the mantra of the Tara will now appear in your heart and you will become Tara. So she is the culmination of union of the Omaha home, the three lights the Lama gave you the empowerment of, and the merging of the Lama into you. This is this symbol, and it's all inclusive. So no matter how many Taras, peaceful or protector like this one you use in practice, they all come from this. Now we'll start the green Tara practice, simply saying the mantra of Tara to establish that. Then we'll move to the red Tara, peaceful, and then we'll be the red Tara, wrathful, Pema Chondro, and then we'll do the Tumo breathing. And it should get hot results.
It's really hot.
Abby says really hot. Visualize the Tom, yourself as Tara, young, beautiful, healthy, dressed in silks and jewels like a goddess. They all represent your qualities. And the silks of 5 colors, the 5 elements. You have a 5-jewel crown of the 5 states of Buddha awarenesses, connecting to those. Your right hand is open on the right knee in supreme generosity. Your left hand with the thumb and ring finger holding the stem of a lotus, symbolizing the altruistic compassion or the motivation that all sentient beings attain this state of liberation, which is what Bodhisattva symbols show. Then your mother in front is visualized as a mirror image of your 3-dimensional symbol of Tara, green Tara. Then you project it to your father, all your relatives, and all your friends and lovers, even pets. Then all the beings you have karma with this life, friendly or not. Then all of the humans on the planet, today there are about 8 billion, as Tara. So in your mind, you're creating a mandala of light and light being around you. The same general method that you use with the 5 elements practice. In your mind, expanding more and more through space. Then you include all the spirits which inhabit space, inhabit everything. All the 4 realms is Tara. All the celestial, war gods, deprived spirits, demon spirit. All is Tara. When you have this all in place, it causes the heart mantra to appear. This is the sound, the vibration of the compassion, power, insight, and loving kindness of this symbol, this practice of Tara. It starts with the sound Om in front. Then these letters circle the green tom inside your heart chakra, and they're all inside a sphere of 5-colored light. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Now, as you chant this mantra, the heart mantra starts to move counterclockwise. The letters are facing inward, and the radiation of energy of the light of the tom, which symbolizes total liberation, and the mantra's 10 syllables, blazing light from all of those spreads through your form of Tara, then outward as healing energy to your environment and all the beings around you. And every being as Tara in your mandala is doing exactly the same thing you are. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Om Tara Tu Tare Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Soha. Now, in a practice session, it's good to do at least 21 to 108 of the green Tara mantra recitation, and you and all beings as Tara. Then you move to the next practice of red Tara peaceful. So to get the basis for the fire mother, she's called Pema Chondro, which means the Tara of discerning awareness, so that the Tumo practice will work with, as bliss energy within your physical body. So we do the red Tara. You simply change the C syllable to wrong, which looks like this. So the 5 with the dot over it now becomes this, looks like a squiggly I with the dot over it. This is wrong, which is the sound of radiation or energy. It's actually 2 words. Ra and M means mother. So this is the red Tara, and you say her mantra, and you add this sound to the mantra. Om Jara Tu Jare Tu Re. Ram So Ha. Om Jara Tu Jare Tu Re. Ram So Ha. Om Jara Tu Jare Tu Re. Ram So Ha. Om Jara Tu Jare Tu Re. Ram So Ha. Om Jara Tu Jare Tu Re. Ram So Ha. It's also on our 5-color chart of the elements in the 5 Buddha Dakini, Buddha family. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Now this is the empowerment of the 5 Dhyana Buddhas and the 5 elements spreading to all the 6 realms. And the sound of the bell with this Dorje embedded in it is calling all of the Dakini, Tara energies, of universal energy. Om Tara Tu Tare Tu Re Ram So Ha. Tu Re Ram So Ha. Then you imagine all the green, red taras filling your mandalas coming into you. Then you, as the peaceful red tara, stand and produce yourself as Pema Khandru, Pema Dakini. So it's the combination of these 2 practices of the peaceful, which is all the taras in that mode, becoming the power, compassion, and insight of the fire Dakini. We call Khandro in Tibetan is how they say the word Dakini. Dakini has many levels: spiritual, heavenly, human, elemental, and so forth. But it simply means the mother of control, removing conditions of pain and suffering, and producing good health, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, which of course is very desirable, very appropriate. So now you visualize yourself standing. The skull cup is, you are drinking from the skull cup the bliss of the practice. It's called the bliss energy. The hook knife, the trigger, is pointed down, and cutting off all attachment to the human form, male or female. So there's 1 male, 1 female under each foot. Or you can visualize your own corpse or body under, she's standing on. Then above that is the sun disk, and below your corpse is a moon disk, and then all of that is on a 32 petal lotus in space. Around you is a fire dome filled with many obstacle removing type of, they say, weapons, like cross doorways, clubs, knives, all of that, everything, filling this protective fire dome, which comes up out of the sun that you're standing on. And the energy of the seed syllable Ram and D are in your heart center. D connects to Amitabha Buddha, which is the Buddha of discerning awareness, and that's this energy field. They call it infinite light, and all light has a thermal signature. So there's the heat. Then we do, the sound of the mantra is Om Jaraj, Om Pema Kando Ram Hri D Pe. Om Pema Kando Ram Hri D Pe. Right? What?
D?
Or just wrong?
Just wrong.
Om Pema Kando Ram Pe.
Oh, Ram Hri. Yeah.
Yeah, Ram Hri. Oh, I said D. Om Pema Kando Ram Hri Pe. Hri is Amitabha Buddha, Buddha of infinite light. Om Pema Kando Ram Hri Pe. 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 So you keep all your focus within this area. You don't have to project to all sentient beings, because when you're the Dakini, they're obviously included from the peaceful deity practice. So actually, you have to accomplish the peaceful deity practice to produce the protector level of practice for it to work or to develop. Om Pema Kando Ram Hri Pe. 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 Om Pema Kando Ram. Om Pema Kando Ram Hri Pe. Om Pema Kando. We should bring me the small down. Pretty much. Om Pema Kando Ram Hri Pe. 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 Now I'm calling all wrathful Dakinis of all five Dhyana Buddha family. Om. Om Bema Kanda Ram Ripe. 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 Ram Ripe. Om Bema Kanda Ram Ripe. From the fire dome that you're imaging around you is like the sun. The sun energy fills our solar system. Well, this energy of her surrounding the fire dome permeates all the 6 realms in the entire universe. Om Bema Kanda Ram Ripe. 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 Om Bema Kanda. And you are bright red, and the Ram and the Shri are overlapped in your heart center. The central channel has Om Ah Om Cham Hri Ram Lam Vam Yam Mam, marking your chakra energy centers in the body. Same as this chart. So the 5 awarenesses and the 5 elemental symbols are together in each of your energy chakras, and they are producing figures like this in each chakra center. And then the red Dakini, the central channel, all the way to between the solar plexus and the sex chakra, there's they say 4 fingers below the navel. You visualize a tiny point of light, and you collect all of the sensual and mental perceptions, all the drama, all the emotionality, all afflictions, everything into that point. Then you visualize it to move up the central channel to the navel chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, head chakra, and merge with the white moon of space at the crown of your head. It symbolizes the entirety of the universe, but condensed into this small sphere. Then these two, the red dot merging with the white sphere, cause 5 drops of elixir to come down into the head chakra, then throat chakra, heart chakra, navel chakra, then recollect in the red chakra point that you started with. Now, when you visualize this, everything is transformed into bliss energy going up. That's all the elements. And all the 5 Dhyana Buddha families also disappear into the simplicity of space, bliss energy. And then all of that collects again in the lower chakra, into that point. And while you're doing this, up and down, with the red energy up and the white drop, 5 color drops coming down, then you do the breathing of, goes like this. Inhale, extend your abdomen, and wrap your fingers around your thumbs. Exhale harshly. That's the first purification breath that is symbolized by the Om. And again, harshly. That's symbolized by the Ah. Then again, exhale harshly. That's the third purifying breath that symbolizes the Om. Then inhale, hold your breath, and rotate your abdomen to the right. 3 times is enough, and imagine 3 balls of light marked with Omaha moving around inside your lower abdomen as if this was all a bowl, the lower part of your body. Inhale, hold your breath, abdomen extended, rotate forward, side, back, left, like that. Twice. Third time, exhale. Inhale again. Visualize the 3 red balls marked with Omaha, each one Omaha, rotating counterclockwise. Then you hold your breath, extend, forward, then left, back, right. So you're going counterclockwise. 3 times. Exhale. Then the 3 red balls dissolve into the red point at the bottom of your central channel, the sex chakra. And you inhale, wrap your fingers, hold your breath, and have the red ball move up, navel chakra, heart chakra, throat chakra, head chakra, space, disintegrate, 5 drops, head chakra, throat chakra, heart chakra, navel chakra, recollect into the red ball at the bottom. This is like fire energy and spatial energy merging up and down through your body. Then once it hits the chakras, it spreads all through your body. Thousands of, they call nadis, psychic channel. Inhale. Hold your breath. Ascending the red light. Merges with the space. White sphere disappears into 5 drops. They come down. Head, throat, heart, navel. Recollect at the bottom. Exhale. Extend your finger. Inhale. Hold your breath. Ascending breath. Merge with the white sphere at the top of your head. Descending. Collect at the bottom. Exhale. When you exhale, you go out your nose. Inhale. All drama energy is the red sphere up, navel, heart, throat, head chakra. Merge with the white. Disintegrate to 5 drops. Dhyana Buddhas disappear, 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 disappear into void. Recollect at the bottom. Exhale. Inhale. Hold your breath. Ascending. Rom, Rom, Vom, Yam, Mom. Moon is Hom. Descending. Drops home. Ah, home. Tron. Breathe. Recollect. Exhale. This time hold your breath as long as you can and have the red dot moving up and the white disintegrating into 5 drops coming down. That up and down process as long as you can. When you exhale after holding your breath for a while, recollect everything to the red at the bottom. Inhale. Relax for a moment. Regenerate the red dot. Inhale. Ascend. Be Pema. Collect your breath. While you're holding your breath, you can take a short breath through the nose. Like when you inhale, you go. Then like that, take a small breath. Repack the pot is what they call that. This is called pot breathing. And then also you can generate more energy by slightly tightening the sphincter. Those two together, the tongue pointed back towards the throat, the sphincter, and taking maybe up to 3 small breaths while you're holding through your nose while you're holding your breath. Try it. Inhale. Ascend. Then relax. With the bliss energy raging through your Pema generated deity, then collect all the energy into your heart center. So all sentient beings, same as you, as this symbol of compassion, power, and insight, Pema Dakini, Pema Chondro, you disappear into the heart mantra, Om Pema Chondro Ram Hri Pe. Then starting with the Oms, those mantra sounds disappear into the Shri and the Ram in your heart center. These two disappear with the 5-colored sphere of light into space, either expanding to the totality of the universe or shrinking to the connecting particle in your heart center, or simply disappearing all at once into voidness, like space, in the present moment of timeless awareness. After resting for a short period of time in the accomplishment phase of the practice, which simply means no practice, no meditation, just being present, aware, without judging your perceptions of your body or the thoughts of your mind or any of the drama. That's called Mahamudra. And that state of accomplishment is liberation. That's the simplicity of the term Buddhahood or enlightenment. And that is what you accomplish when you leave your body this life. And that realm of formless, timeless awareness is how you entertain the bardo of becoming and accomplish a favorable rebirth in the human condition in your future life. So this is not all about just the good health of your body and accomplishing the bliss energy, that prana permeating your physical form and your mental continuum, but also for future favorable situations. And when you do the advanced 6 yogas of Neguma, Sukhasiddhi, Tilopa, or Naropa, doing the illusory body peaceful or wrathful, and then accomplishing the Tumo practice are the two most advanced for training of the Bodhisattva in the human condition. Then when you do the clear light and ability to do your yogas in the dream state, that takes care of that aspect of your life. Then when leaving the body and then actually exiting, that's 2 more advanced practices. And the 5 elements is very helpful with that, or any deity yoga, or the 5 Tara practices. But when you enter into the next life, you are a bodhisattva. Then you don't take birth in heaven or hell or the war god realms or unfavorable human or animal or deprived spirit. You just, not necessary. You're not, that's not who your purpose. It's not appropriate anymore. And that word appropriate is appropriate. Then you're out of that, what's the term they call existence?
Endurance.
Endurance. Then you're out of enduring pain and suffering. Because it's all caused by emotionality. You know, it flavors your physical, mental, and spiritual application. Judgmental mind. Enlightened mind is non-judgmental. Trauma mind is judgmental. That's it. Now you know the difference. Next practice is Medicine Buddha, which sums up all the practices of the Hinayana applications, the Mahayana, which is the Sutra applications, and the Vajrayana, which is all the advanced deity yogas like we're doing tonight. A direct pointing out of the nature of your mind is the Medicine Buddha. Understanding how to use it is to transform the energies of the emotions into something we call good health, but more favorable. Okay? Usually when we think of good health, we apply it to our physical form, but we have the mental and spiritual applications. So the 5 Dhyana Buddhas of the Medicine Buddha practice are the 5 ways of transforming all emotionality. Then in the world around you, we have a lot of people that have the ability to focus and are very powerful in their imagination, that are nasty in their disposition, and they create what is called sorcery, witchcraft, voodoo, very harmful practice. And this is Medicine Buddha's protection. And we have many millions of people practicing harmful religion, where the religious practices don't have an altruistic motivation, or they condone harm in some way to others in the environment. So protection from that. And then the final point of the Medicine Buddha practice is that since we're surrounded by sentient beings, they can cause us problems, ill health, animals, humans, and spirit. And this is protection against those. So the Medicine Buddha is very good for Sutra and Tantric practice. To use the Medicine Buddha, we use the seed syllable Hum, which is all-inclusive, which is the third breath, the exhale. And all the deities actually come from this syllable. And the Medicine Buddha. Now the seed syllable Hum is in the heart center. When you collect the Omaha Hum and the Medicine Buddha in front and you, then automatically in the Buddha practice, any Buddha, not Bodhisattva symbol, but Buddha image is all-inclusive of all 6 rounds application. The mantra is Tadyata Om Bikansi Bikansi Maha Bikansi Rasta Samangate Soha. And that is in the heart center of the Medicine Buddha, which is blue. So the practice is fairly simple. Manifesting the Hum, you start with 10 Hum. This is after taking refuge in bodhicitta to start the practice. Then you sound the 10 Hum. 3 is your first 3 are your body, speech, and mind. Hum, hum, hum. Transformed by the practice itself of coming together to the benefit of all beings. That's 4 Hum. Body, speech, and mind, and then all 4 together. Hum, 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 hum. Then you say 3 more to progress rapidly through the 3 Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, 3 rounds, 3 vehicles to full maturity. Hum, hum, hum. Hinayana, Vajrayana, Mahayana. But more, the 3 vehicles. Nirmanakaya, Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is the all-pervasive nature of your mind. Sambhogakaya is the bliss energy of all this deity, peaceful and protector. All 5 Dhyana Buddha families, all 2,000 deities. And then the Hinayana is the teaching aspect of a man or woman collects all that into her practice and gives it to others. That's the Hinayana. Yana means vehicle. Om, om, om. Om, 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 om. Om, om, om. And you visualize all of that into the Hum in your heart center, surrounded by a 5-colored sphere of light, going to all 6 realms, 4 spiritual, animals, and human, pervading, transforming all of their hindrances, ill health, disease, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual disease, all transformed into appropriate antidotes, that causes the mancha. Tadyatha, collect all of the energy of all the teachers. Om, in a state of clarity, clear light. Bhikanzi, and then that's for the body. Bhikanzi, for the mind, mental. Maha Bhikanzi, all emotional. Tadyatha, Om, Bhikanzi, Bhikanzi, Maha Bhikanzi. Then moving out into the evolutionary process of the Buddha. Rajda, Sam, Hun, Gat, Te. That does that part. Svaha, always increasing, always available, timeless. So now you've moved into the state of your own awakened mind. Tadyatha Om Bhikanzi Bhikanzi Ma Bhikanzi Raja Samugate Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanzi Bhikanzi Ma Bhikanzi Raja Samugate Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanzi Bhikanzi Ma Bhikanzi Raja Samugate Soha. Jai Om, Tadyatha Om, Bhikanji, Bhikanji, Ma, Bhikanji, Raja Samagati, Soha. Tadyatha Om, Bhikanji, Bhikanji, Ma, Bhikanji, Raja Samagati, Soha. Tadyatha Om, Bhikanji, Bhikanji, Ma, Bhikanji, Raja Samagati, Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. You are the medicine Buddha. Blue in color, wearing robes with the Lama, seated on a lotus-scented moon, in space. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Blue in color. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Ma Bhikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Tadyatha Om Bhikanji Bhikanji Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Maha Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Maha Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Maha Vikanji Raja Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Raja Samagati Soha. Using the myrobalan fruit for physical healing in your right hand and the medicine bowl of bliss energy in your left for curing all emotional mental affliction. Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Gate Gate Parasangate Bodhisattva Tajato Gate Gate Parasangate Bodhisattva Tajato Muni Muni Ma Muni Shaka Munaye Soha Tajato Muni Muni Ma Muni Shaka Munaye Soha Tajato Muni Muni Ma Muni Shaka Munaye Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha Tajato Om Vikanji Vikanji Ma Vikanji Rasa Samagati Soha. And all the afflictions of human beings on this planet, all the afflictions of the animal world, all the afflictions of the spirit world, all transformed. And on the Medicine Buddha's lotus that he's sitting on are 8 petals. On the first 5 are the 5 dhyana Buddhas, all purifying all emotional affliction. Then on the 6th petal, all sorcery, negative influence by powerful, dark-minded humans, purified. Then all harmful afflictions caused by practicing harmful religions, purified. Then all animosity, harm, abuse, any kind of physical, mental, or emotional affliction from humans, animals, or spirits, transformed and purified. Then you think all sentient beings equal to the Medicine Buddha. They all merge with you. You as the Medicine Buddha of supreme healing disappear into the heart mantra Tadyata Om Bhikanzi Bhikanzi Maha Bhikanzi Raja Samangate Soha. Stationary mantra, letters facing outward, circling the blue hum in your heart center. They, one by one, just starting with the word Tadyatha, Om, and so forth, all dissolve into the blue hum. The blue hum, circled by a five-colored sphere of light, disappears into voidness like space. Rest in the present moment in this condition. No meditation, no judgment, no disease. In the present moment of timeless awareness, there is only joy and bliss. So enjoy the bliss. when you arise from this formless state of entertaining the blissful nature of your mind, your natural mind, we can apply it with the Tonglen practice of taking and sending with the breath. The situation on the planet today is one of extreme upheaval. Billions of people suffering from viruses, of which there are 170 million viruses, some of them very serious. There are billions of people suffering from dominance in their societies and protesting worldwide. There's the element of climate change, which is causing great upheaval ecologically and so forth. So taking and sending with the breath is very appropriate. So you can take each category that I've mentioned and take all of the beings in that category suffering, physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual suffering and pain, in like black light into your heart center that you've been training all and are doing these practices, your heart mind. And visualize it disappear there, ending their pain and suffering, liberating them. Then imagine from that center blazing clear light to each and every one of these beings. And in your mind, you see them as totally healthy. No physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual affliction. None. Billions of humans, animals, spirits. Take all of their pain and suffering in like black light into your heart center. Immediately white or clear light back to those uncountable sentient beings. All totally healthy. Free of pain and suffering. Free of the necessity to endure in this realm of endurance, pain and suffering of any kind. And continually do this practice in your dreams and when awake and when leaving your body. My teacher, Tai Situ Rinpoche, gave me this transmission and a book that he had written called Way to Go. It is the highest level, one of the highest levels of Bodhisattva mind training based on illusory situations, drama, injustice, and all karmic affliction. Now we dedicate the merit for this evening of practice And remember, once you accomplish these practices, you train others in these practices. We'll do the dedication prayer at the bottom of the refuge sheet. Kewa di nudu da, chagya champo jugirne, jowa ching king malupa, dei sala goparsho, sanjay kusu nimpai jemla dam, choni megar dimpai jemla dam, gendu miche tumpai jemla ki, shitar goma, mon man dru parsho. By this virtue of having realized Mahamudra, may we establish every single sentient being in this state. By the blessings of the three kayas of a Buddha being accomplished, by the blessing of the truth of the Dharma being unchanging, and by the blessing of the wishes of the Sangha, that's us, being unwavering, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. And my Tashi prayer is that all the lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity, and all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings have happiness and the cause of happiness, be away from suffering and the cause of suffering, established in bliss by our practice, and become emotional stable, free of attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, delusion, stupidity, bewilderment, ignorance, fear, anxiety, and depression. Aloha and Tashi Delay. Duchi Che, thank you very much.